Show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast, episode 632. I'm Mike Sorgatron in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Ready to roll here. And we have with us in studio, wife of the show.
Hi, guys.
Hey, it's Missy.
It's a face you don't see very often.
It's a couples podcast today.
It's a couples podcast.
Which, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything will be fine. The button's there in case anybody called in. So how are you doing? You haven't been on the shows for a while.
No, I haven't been. Life. There's been a lot going on.
Yes. You've been having a lot of meetings on Tuesday nights and stuff too. So
between that and
yes.
like when I'm on the other side of the country.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes, we're dealing with that as well for scheduling. But April's going to be a little nutty here for schedule wise, but we're trying to sort it out. But anyways, this is the AwesomeCast. You can check out everything at AwesomeCast.com. Here's at AwesomeCast at SorgatronMedia.com for any inquiries. You also AwesomeCast on the Twitter, and also we do have the SorgatronMedia.social, and we did just invite our Patreon supporters to join us on the Mastodon SorgatronMedia.social Fediverse thingamajiggy. So you can go over there and find all the accounts for this and the other podcasts, and that's where we're communicating with people over on that new exciting new platform and seeing how that goes. So it's part of the experiment. So if Mastodon is super super scary for you, and you're in our Patreon, hop on over. We'll let you right in, and we can figure it out together. Also, of course, we do have a less scary Facebook group. Well, actually, it depends on who you ask. That you can be a part of the conversation too. We also do have a Discord and a Reddit as well. Please subscribe and rate us on your favorite podcast app. Of course, there's a Sorgatron Media feed on all those places, so you can check out this and all the rest of the shows, including Wrestling Mayhem Show, Fishing Without Bane, and Gay and His MB. I can't say it quick. I'm still working on that. It's a new name. It has a lot of vowels. Anyways, and also thanks to our friends at postindustrial.com for sharing the show. And of course, we're here live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, on YouTube, and on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page. So you guys can join us in the chat. I see some people out there being a little quiet. Oh, Del Potter's out there hanging right now. And, of course, you can support us on the Patreon, patreon.com/AwesomeCast. Our friends at the executive producer level, Brian Crawford. At the Coffee Club level, Matt Weller, Cynthia Klosky, and Mike Pound. And at the fan of the show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Podner, Clipper of all things Sorg related. We have all the things that are going to trip me up. You guys can support the show too, and I'll mess up your name at patreon.com/awesomecast. And also, again, you'll get that invite for coming on to the sorgatronmedia.social on Mastodon and other goodies here and there. So let's get into our awesome things of the week. I didn't see that Missy crossed out Dutters to put herself. So we have been fitnessing. Let's just generally talk about fitness here. But you got an awesome thing, and I probably want to kind of poke at a little bit more beyond this too, because you have been really kind of hitting this lately, and doing a lot of progress. But
are you going to let me talk about my awesome thing? Or are you
I'm
just going to keep
introducing your awesome thing.
I just really want to talk about my awesome thing.
Okay, what is your awesome thing?
So my awesome thing is the Echo Heart Rate app, and I will tell you why it's awesome. So the beginning of the year, toward the end of last year, I actually started on this trend again of losing weight, and the best way for me to do so is to change diet and exercise. Did pretty decent with the diet sort of aspect of things, starting after like the holidays in November in through December. And then January 1st, I hit a new year, new me, like everybody else does, but I wanted to make the most of it. So we have a treadmill at the house, and I've been doing a Couch to 5K app, which I've also linked in the show notes there, Sorg. So I've been running, and it starts everything out small, but in order to get the best use out of the treadmill, having that heart rate interaction is really, really important. So the Couch to 5K, it interacts with my Apple Watch and with my iPhone, but it doesn't connect it directly to the treadmill.
And I have to mention, the Couch to 5K is really, it looks a lot different than when I was trying to do Couch to 5K probably several years ago, probably pre-COVID.
Well, and there are multiple apps. I went through a couple of them before I landed on this one, and it's the Active.
Are there multiple Couch to 5Ks?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
So
this is a different brand than I had
Yeah,
before,
so this is probably a different brand.
Okay.
So this is one that I found, and it's like I said, it's Active is the developer.
Is the drill sergeant in the camo shorts what really kind of drew you into this one?
Well, actually, the funny thing is there are a couple of different voice prompts. The sergeant one that you just pointed out is one. Billy is actually the trainer woman that they're showing in that lower portion there that you're
yeah,
now
she looks like a Disney princess / trainer.
kind of. And then there's just like a normal person kind of trainer. I didn't really care for the normal person kind of trainer, so I'm actually Billy is my chosen trainer.
Wait. Is that Constance you're talking
yes.
about?
Constance,
and have you
yes.
tried Run-A-Corn, apparently?
Run-A-Corn was a little too peppy for me.
Oh,
so I was
no.
like, yeah, no.
Run-A-Corn he's a real party animal. He'll entertain and encourage you at every mile on your magical turn. This is like those Waze things. Hi, would you like this cartoon character to follow you on Waze? No, thank you.
Yeah, pretty much. So, like I said, I landed on that. But again, the problem that I was having was my devices weren't talking to the treadmill. And our treadmill has iFit with it.
Yeah, it's a NordiTrack with iFit. It has like an Android tablet kind of situation. We did pay for. I mean, this is where I was. Yeah, that was on the show. This is where I was talking about the Street View, like that. It'll change the treadmill based on like I have a couple runs in San Diego, Fort Lauderdale, and San Francisco, and holy crap, the San Francisco hills really max that out. But it does a lot of cool stuff, and they have a lot of content on there. So, but anyways, you're saying.
So I liked it, but again, those the training programs they have on there work best when they're able to track your heart rate primarily, and different things like that. So I needed something that was going to bridge the gap between my phone and the treadmill. And when we were traveling recently, they had the nice treadmills in the hotels where you could just like hold your Apple Watch up to it, and then it would just pair to it automatically.
I love when they have those.
Those were amazing. So I was like, how do I get this sort of interaction at home? I did some research on a couple of things, tried a couple of different apps, but I landed on this Echo Heart Rate app because it pulls up and it integrates pretty well with what we've got going on. So what it does is instead of hitting I'm going to start a workout on my Apple Watch, I open up this app on my phone. I hit the connecty thing like you can see right there in the preview on it. It connects with Bluetooth to my treadmill, and then it sends that information to my treadmill. So I was doing a workout last night, for instance, and my heart rate needed to be within a certain range to meet the parameters for the treadmill or for the workout that I was doing through iFit. And if it saw that my heart rate was a little bit lower than it wanted to be, it would either increase my speed or it would increase my elevation on the treadmill in order to get my heart rate up into a target zone to help stretch things out and make me more cardiovascular sort of workout stuff. So I found that was working out pretty well. And I've actually enjoyed the last month or so. Well, more than a month. It's been 2 months since I started it in January. Like so this was a recent addition, and it seemed to be the missing link between what I was missing in my home workout versus what I can get if I go to the gym or if I go to a hotel gym and work out using their newer, more integrated, way more expensive treadmills. And it also works with other platforms. So it's not just a treadmill. I can connect it to a bike, like a smart bike, or I can connect it to other devices. And it has like a list of different companies and different hardware that it works well with.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's my awesome thing of the week.
But and I gotta tell you, I was looking at. I thought we spent a lot on our treadmill, and then I saw the price of some of the like what we see like in the obviously those are more commercial when you see something in like the Hilton or the Holiday Inn or something, right? That have all those extra features. And I was looking at that, how do I get access to my Android device that's embedded in my treadmill? And it was like, oh yeah, so I have this like 32-inch version. I'm like, what? Like ours is like a normal like regular sized original iPad. It looks like basically that's embedded into the dashboard of your treadmill, and it tilts a little bit, and again it's like it is the control interface for everything. So, and
when I was researching the treadmill, that was one of the things that I took into consideration. That tilting thing is beneficial for the two of us because you're a foot taller than I am.
Yes, I tilt it every time it's my turn.
Exactly, and I have to tilt it down.
It's just like the car. It's like, I've got to move the seat.
Yeah, so it's nice that we can kind of figure that out. And that's again, great. Based on price point and features, that was the treadmill that seemed to work for us. So
what I wanted to expand on, because we have the iFit, I've been mostly just using that kind of street view kind of thing. I haven't ventured into a lot of I did a Thailand walk for one of these, but you're a few months into using the iFit thing. We do also have Fitness Plus, and I use that for my yoga and everything, because I like that. And we have an Apple TV in our workout room and everything, right? So like, how has that iFit kind of been? And I don't think you haven't done terribly much with the Apple Fitness to compare, have you?
No, Apple Fitness I haven't. And here's my problem with Apple Fitness. The way that the treadmill is set up, I can't see the TV very well. Because I'm like, this is perfect, and you're like, I can't see. I am short.
So yes.
So I can't really see the TV over the treadmill.
Well, you don't need the fitness for the TV, but like I still think it's great for like the rest of the things that don't require equipment. So,
and like I said, I haven't ventured a whole lot into that. It's on my to-do list. The bigger thing for me was I need to do this. Like I need to get to a point where I can do I can expand my cardio.
Exactly.
So the Couch to 5K has worked out really well for that, because I am to the point with the Couch to 5K app that I am running for 30 minutes. And I mean, by running, I'm doing like a 4 mile per hour run maybe. So it's not really super, super intensive run, but I'm going. And the fact that I do a 5-minute warm up, I'm doing a 30-minute run, and then I'm doing a 5-minute cool down as part of this app has been really great, because when I started, it was smaller increments and then it builds up. to what I'm doing now. So I didn't start out doing a 20-minute workout. I started out doing like a 10-minute workout.
So using the iFit side before you were doing this, I know you're kind of more doing this style now.
Well, I still do the iFit.
Yeah. So like, tell me a little bit about that experience of having it integrated.
So it's interesting because the way that I can do it is now that I've got this app to integrate things, like I said, it monitors my heart rate and it will tell me, okay, you're putting too much energy into it. You're going to the next tier on the
This is that zone idea, right?
The zone idea, yeah. So it has your recovery zone, it has another zone, like an active zone, and then it has like a cardio zone, and then it has a you're killing yourself zone. So the goal is, depending on what workout you're doing, to keep it within a certain zone. So last night I was doing a workout that it was a walking-based workout, and it was simply to do a recovery. So it's a recovery walk. The iFit guy that was doing the guided walking tour thing, he's recovering from cancer. So this is one of the things that keeps him active and doing things, but it's not putting too much of a tax on his body by doing like a running workout. So I'm able to follow. We were walking through parts of Scotland, I believe, last night. So I was walking through the hills of Scotland, and we're walking up a hill, so my treadmill kicked up automatically to a 10 incline, and I'm still going at like 2.5 miles per hour for the walk on a 10 incline. So my heart rate picked up quickly, and it was able to read my heart rate that I had kicked into the next zone, so it dropped my incline down a little bit in order to be less taxing on my cardio system. And then when it did the progressive check-in, a couple of seconds later, it was like, yeah, your heart rate's not where we want it to be. So it dropped me down again. And then it slightly lowered my speed. When I leveled out, it brought my speed back up automatically in order to get my heart rate back into that zone that it was looking for that cardio workout. So like, it's nice that it integrates that sort of stuff. I know that when I've done things like you've done with like the integrated map system that I can choose where I want to be, it will kind of do that as well. It gets kind of weird though, because the one trail that I was doing, it was a relatively flat trail, but all of a sudden it jumped up to like 10 on the incline.
This is on the Street View thing?
Yes, on the Street View
And I've had
thing.
that too, because we were trying to figure out, it's like, I'm crossing the Golden Gate Bridge. Why am I at 10 on the incline? And we were talking about, I was like, oh, it's looking at the actual terrain, not the road terrain.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, you're at the other end of the bridge. That's where the mountain starts. Right.
Yep.
And you're like, oh no, so, it's like, it's a little kind of wonky from there. It's been really interesting. No, and it is something that if you're not maybe into the Apple Fitness idea, like it's very, especially for the walks and everything, it's very, I want to say Discovery Channel, like they're going everywhere. I love when when you're first starting, you're like, I'm running with the boars or something. Or the Wildebeests.
The
Wildebeests it
Wildebeest.
was. Yeah.
I was running with Wildebeest. I've also done, they have a haunted series. So they walk through, like the host for that one takes you on a walking tour of different cities that have like historical ghost areas. So one of the things that we did was New Orleans. So we visited, there were like 3 or 4 different locations within that tour and all different spots in New Orleans. So we're walking through like a riverboat. We're walking through, and he's doing the EVP like ghost hunt stuff.
Yeah, you're telling me about that.
So it was kind of an interesting thing. So there's programming in there for just about anybody, and it tries to engage it so that you're doing something interesting with it. So some of the tour guides have you included. So like Damon, the guy that was walking with the ghost tours, he got spooked by something, and he's like, you're supposed to have he looks at the camera and says, you're supposed to have my back. You're supposed to tell me about this sort of stuff. Like, you're supposed to let me know if something's coming to get me. And so it's kind of an interesting aspect of it with regard to that. I see you're doing the
and I love it. It's the first time I've loaded it up. This is an iPad Pro. I have it loaded up. This is exactly what the interface looks like when on the thing.
And the nice thing is this also does for your phone. So if I'm not on a treadmill, if I want to do an outdoor walk, I can still do the iFit series through my iPhone, connect it with my AirPods, and just roll like wherever I'm walking. so I can still get that instruction, and they'll cater the workout to what you're trying to do. So they have walking programs, they have running programs, they have weight training programs, they have pretty much anything. Like right now you're seeing like a workout thing. So it was kind of interesting.
This looks like a dumbbell strength training.
The one treadmill thing that I was on the other day, we're doing a run, and then all of a sudden the treadmill stops and she says, "Okay, we're going to get off. We're going to do some yoga." I'm like,
you're like, "Nope.
I don't want to do yoga right now. I want to run." Like this is what I was doing.
And she's doing this like kind of yoga strength training, and she's like on the beach overlooking the water somewhere, fantastic and tropical. So
oh yeah, there are some, and that's another nice cool thing about it is I'm getting to see parts of the world that I wouldn't normally see. And obviously I'm not going to be traveling there to be able to have that experience, but I can still kind of in my own way experience it in the comfort of my own home while I'm on the treadmill.
Yeah, that was Hawaii, by the way. Turtle Bay, Hawaii, it says. So so that's a look at that. I mean, honestly, we have it because it's built into the treadmill, and I still think the Apple Fitness is worthwhile having on hand for other things. Like to me, just having it for the treadmill itself, I think is worthwhile. I think it costs like something like $150 for the year for a family plan, and that's up to 4 accounts, 5 accounts. There's only 2 of us. So
yeah, but I mean, it's something that we can even look at for our parents.
Yeah. So they can have something. So, but they also have, we have family plans on everything. So they also have the Apple Fitness and everything. But it gives them an option. Maybe they don't like the tone of the Apple Fitness, versus this. So it is a different tone than what you get on Apple Fitness.
And even so, the interaction with it, I like the fact that instead of having to hook up the TV, hook up the Apple Fitness, and just roll with that, which sometimes I have problems getting things to connect in the workout room.
We have a very old TV.
Yes, we do. So it's easier for me to just literally go to the treadmill, just boop, turn my thing on, and I'm ready to roll.
Do what again?
Boop.
Yay. Awesome. So that's iFit. You say we're working with the NordiTrack, and we have the Echo measurement, the Echo. What was it?
Echo heart rate app.
Echo heart rate, and the couch. The couch to 5K she is currently using will be in the notes. So my awesome things I wanted to bring up, and these are things that I probably talked about before. I've been using one of these programs for years. But one of the cool things, and we're using it for a couple of things. So I've been using something called Zencastr for years, right? It's a program that will initially just, if you want to do what we call double enders in podcasting. So it's you're recording here locally, you're recording like think of a Zoom call, but you're recording on each microphone, right? So yeah, you're recording on each microphone, and then when it's done, it'll take all of those recordings, and it should be kind of doing it on the fly too. But when you're done with it, you have all those MP3s or WAV files if you're paying for the right tier, and just double checking here, trying to bring it up. I think I forgot how to spell Zencastr, but anyways. And then, like, you have a nice, clean, the best audio possible based on whatever mics they had on the other end. If they have a good mic, you're putting through Skype, and then it's going to be a problem. They have recently, and I was not happy when they were redoing things for a bit there, and they added video, and I actually had a couple podcasts fail, a couple recordings fail on me, and it got really wonky because they kind of shove you over into the new idea, into the new thing. Hopefully, I'm into my own. And then for another client, we've been using another one called Riverside.fm because one thing that we have not had with Zencastr, and a client brought this to me, this one, it does exactly the same thing. You do the video recordings as well, and you get the video from every side of it. Both of these, if you pay for a certain tier, it will add a lot of editing tools. You can actually just sit there and edit your podcast in these. It's not going to be as high fidelity if you're taking it out, putting in an editor, and kind of doing it more professionally. But it is a nice, it can get you going to do a video podcast, do a podcast, for the, hobbyist kind of level of things from the looks of things. I've been really impressed. Mostly impressed. I've actually just started noticing some issues because we are actually doing one of our podcasts that we've been doing for a client. We don't record it locally. Generally, we record it through the Riverside.fm. And only this week did I notice some issues.
Uh-oh, what issues?
I only noticed, it's a little bit of that fidelity because you're capturing it in video, compressed in the browser, versus capturing it like locally here with some of the tools that we have in the studio. Like say, for vMix or something like this, we'd record it locally like we do with Fishing Without Bait. And I'm like, ugh. I think this is just something I'm noticing, and the clients didn't care, and nobody else noticed it, and to everybody else it looks like a fine video. But still, it is nice because, if you get that Skype call where everybody kind of looks like crud, I got to use it yesterday because we had some technical issues with the commentary for a wrestling show. So through my system here, I was able to send a wrestling show into Zencastr. And you have a choice with one thing. I haven't seen this with Riverside, but with Zencastr, you can say, I want all audio, or I want to see everybody, but I'm only recording audio, or I'm recording video and everything, soup to nuts, right? So I like that. So they were in there. I got the best audio out of all of them, which is, only going to be so good because we're doing it in post. But it was nice because I got to sync that. I captured the audio of the video. And I could do some special things on my side to sync that and put together a 2.5 hour show with audio and syncing it and then getting it ready to go. Pretty much within 45 minutes, I got to prep that thing. And a lot of it was just like I had to make sections, put the chapter points and all that kind of stuff in for all the matches and segments. So Riverside.fm, Zencastr.fm, I think it is, Zencastr.com. I'm sorry, that's why that wasn't coming up. So pretty good interfaces. I would, if you have the ability, I will not depend 100% on these. I will set these up with my soundboard. If you got a Zoom or a Zoom recorder or something like that, I recommend you also capture that audio. So in case something should happen, and weird things have happened with this app over the years. It is not without failure. Nothing's without failure at this point, right? But we've had a couple where we've had problems recovering. We had one with Riverside where somebody ducked out before it uploaded and we didn't get their side of the interview. Thankfully, it was a test episode where we're kind of figuring out with the client the format and the things they need to tell their guests and things like that. So it's been a big tool for me since 2016, probably. So
you've been using it.
I've been using it a whole lot. One of our clients has an account that we use. Actually, two of our clients have an account between the two of them. So it was nice to have an opportunity to use something other than Zencastr and see how somebody else is doing it. And I think there's several other probably websites that do a very similar thing. But it's that double under thing. It gives you the best of both worlds, and it really does kind of help you out for that. So. Bonner is chiming in and says recovery is also good for the day after a long, hard run for you. So is that Couch to 5K kind of promoting that? I think
Couch to 5K, it does with the weekly training program. It has it's 9 weeks. I'm in week 9 right now, and it does 3 workouts a week. So I've been trying to do them every other day, and my day off I'm doing a walk, or I'm doing yoga or something that's not a workout. It's more of a recovery type of thing. So it's been helpful. Good.
All right. Well, hey, it's time to, speaking of workouts, one reason we have to work out because we have some great sponsors like Slice on Broadway, New York City Style, Yinzer Made. They got some healthy options, though. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills, and the South Side Works, 5 locations across Pittsburgh. And thank you so much to these guys for supporting the show, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. SliceOnBroadway.com.
Side note, today is a run day because I had pizza.
Yes.
I need to burn those calories.
You're going hitting the treadmill right after the show, aren't you?
Pretty much,
yes. Hey, let's keep on the pizza side. There's an interesting story here about Chuck E. Cheese and floppy disks. Do you want to take this one?
Oh, I'll let you take this one. I'll chime in because I'm gonna get to the toilet paper after that one.
What?
Just roll with it. Go with your Chuck E. Cheese.
Did I also forget? Am I going to get on the Jagoff site again?
No.
Did I forget to change the toilet paper?
No.
Wait, where's this at? Why is it not opening? There we go. So I actually saw this a couple weeks ago in a TikTok. So I didn't share it because it was I don't like just having a TikTok for a story on here.
But now there's an article.
But I came across an article, and I think you did too, and almost put this in
Yes.
here too. So Chuck E. Cheese, when you talk about like those animatronics and things, like I think it was my 6th birthday party. We went to Chuck E. Cheese. And yeah, just Gary rodent animatronics. I just watched a Secret Galaxy video on the Chuck E. Cheese growth and failure. But yeah, there is apparently at least one of the stores still is running on the legacy system before, and the video that I saw, and I think this is the same one that's in this article, shows that it is running that sequence for the animatronics loads off of a floppy disk. If you're on audio with us, this says Show 3 2021 Chuck E. Cheese Summer of Fun Studio C.
This is the thing that I laughed about when I read this article. It is a 3.5-inch floppy with the date 2021 on it. And I'm looking going, wow. Like, I thought that nobody was using floppy disks in that capacity anymore, and yet here we are, dated 2021. There are some things that I have on floppy disks still, and I do somewhere have a drive that I can I can plug in and use when I need to, but I don't access those files. This is something that somebody accesses now. It's crazy.
You're talking about even after Chuck E. Cheese phases out the floppies, which are in the process of, there's still uses for them in other domains such as medical devices. So I mean, I think 10 years ago I saw them running DOS when they load up something in the hospital.
Oh,
So
yeah.
no, it's pretty crazy. But and again, that's the thing, they can't turn over that technology so quickly. If it works, it works.
And this is the other concern with it, especially in a medical situation. Do I want to trust something that I'm going to have to download, or can I pop in a disk? Which one, if it's going to save my life, do I want to deal with hospital Wi-Fi and or internet connection that might be sketch?
They say they've seen some of the newer Studio C Chuck E. Cheese run on flash drives and SD card combos, but usually newer setups cause issues with stuff, and it's easier to just keep the old stuff running. So we're talking about the animatronics, the lighting, the show sync data are all on that floppy disk, and really, that's just ones and zeros, right? So
can you pull up that picture again?
Of the floppy disk itself?
Yes.
Let me see where that's at. Yeah, because how big is a floppy drive?
Here's my favorite thing. Show that to somebody like a kid now, like a millennial, and they're gonna look at that and say, "It's a save icon." Somebody 3D printed the save icon. So, it's astounding how technology has changed and yet not changed under the circumstances. It's so much fun. So are you done with yours?
What?
Are you done talking about your fun thing?
Yes. What's this?
So if you scroll down to section 21, or I'm sorry, section 20. So there is a Nintendo Switch game, but in order to play this game, you need to grab a roll of toilet paper.
What?
You need to grab a roll of toilet paper. I came across this, and this is my shout out to Dudders for the weekend. Love you, dear. Yes. So what it is you can see on the picture that you're pulling up, it is an integrative game that has a rolling device that you control by shifting a roll of toilet paper.
You put the
on a cardboard. You put the Wii controller inside the tube.
Well, it's the Joy-Cons, I think they call them on the Switch.
Well, okay, yeah. The Joy-Cons. So you put that inside the tube for the roll of toilet paper, and then you use a piece of cardboard to move the controller in order to control the game device, like on the screen. So it takes the rolling motion of the toilet paper in order to do what you're doing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you actually play with a roll of toilet paper.
There she goes. Look at her go.
Yep. The
game is no paper.
Which is funny because that's why you have to get paper.
Oh boy.
So now you have a reason to keep a roll of toilet paper and your phone in the bathroom with you. So you're sitting there doing your business while you're going to be using the toilet paper, and you can make use of the toilet paper roll.
Seems like a lot of movement for when you're sitting in the bathroom.
I mean, if you're sitting in the bathroom for a while, you might want to be moving around a little bit.
There you go. That's when your legs are falling asleep. Oh boy. All right. What else is there here for us to talk about? Where are we at on time? Okay. I need to reload that because it got weird with the video.
Well, we have a friend who has a new book.
We do.
You've got that in there.
Book? Notorious Pittsburgh from our friend Chris White. Actually, let's give a shout out there. Let's give us some
And Chris has
great
been on
sales.
Chris has been on the show before. He does a lot of interesting things within the tech industry of some sorts, but also the nonprofit world specifically. Mm-hmm. He's done a lot of different things with some various Pittsburgh nonprofits and world-based nonprofits. But he has done this Notorious Pittsburgh tour as part of the Doors Open world. For those of us here in Pittsburgh, Doors Open does tours of places where you wouldn't normally have access to. And he has done these tours as part of that series, as well as some work himself doing the tours. Interesting stories and highlights of Pittsburgh history.
Yeah, a lot about like the mafia, some
The
jailbreaks, the red light district of back in the day, the reasons why they started the first police force in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
It's a fascinating tour. I got to go on it twice. Got to take Missy on it, film some stuff for him. It was really, really, really cool. So I love that it's in the book form. More people can check it out, and you know.
And in book form, it is available digitally for those of you who prefer to have a digital version.
It's actually on pre-order, coming in March 15th, but I know some people have ordered and have a physical copy in hand already.
Oh, wow.
I know Chachi has one, and I think I got a shout-out in there. So
nice.
So yeah, there's Notorious Pittsburgh. It's on Amazon right now. Go get it out and support a friend of the show. So, yes.
I'm just driving the show tonight. Sorry.
Okay, what do you want to talk about now?
Tell me about how YouTubers can swear.
Oh, so there was a thing. This was going around for the last month or so, that if you had a swear word in the first 15 seconds of your video, you were going to become demonetized and or at least not deplatformed, but the algorithm you're going to get hit on the algorithm basically, right? So apparently. The quote from them is, "We found the profanity policy resulted in a stricter approach than we intended." So they have now rolled back its restrictions on that, and it was mentioned on the Creator Insider channel. They said it reviewed the data on how the new rules were enforced and found that they resulted in a, quote, stricter approach than we intended. The update means that creators will still be able to make at least some money on videos, even if it's mild swearing up front, though the restrictions remain confusing and don't fully revert to the older rules. So I think we're safe because our video usually has a pre-roll and a music bed and everything before it rolls into it. So
how much swearing do you have on AwesomeCast usually?
Well, AwesomeCast is, depends unless I see somebody parking out front illegally. So that's when it happens. But anyway, so yeah, I think, I mean, they're pushing it back and forth. Yeah. And they said if the video, and this is according to TheVerge.com, as a reminder, this was if the video contained swearing within the first 15 seconds, it may be demonetized, which means that they wouldn't run ads on it, which limits if you're actually earning revenue off of those videos. So you get 1 million views on this thing, it doesn't matter because you said poopy in the first 15 seconds.
Who says poopy?
And I think this is probably going to be more about your YouTube Shorts, right? That are already under a minute or less when you come onto YouTube.
That would make sense.
So I think they just rolled out the monetization at the beginning of February for those. So that's going to be a big push on that. So not fully walking it back. They said some ads, they will still be eligible for some ads if they use, quote, stronger profanity. We dance this. We dance the suitability line a lot with the professional wrestling that we post on YouTube. I know because if they, sometimes we have some more violent matches that include a little bit of blood and thumbtacks and stuff. And then I'll start just noticing a notice or something on that. So, but I just let the algorithm figure it out, and that's fine. We're putting enough content up there to figure it out. So, We talked about Chris.
So
Yes.
did you see the Google Easter egg?
The Google Easter egg.
The
What
Google
happened
Easter
over
egg.
on Google?
So Disney recently launched the new Mandalorian, and as part of that, Google integrated Grogu as part of their Google sphere. So if you go to Google and you search, there's a list of terms that it allows, but if you search Mandalorian, for instance, you'll see a little Grogu pop up in the corner. And if you click on Grogu, he will magically use his force to edit your screen. Are you pulling this up so we can see it?
I'm trying to, but I'm on an iPad, so I don't know if it's going to work.
Oh, so it's not. Wait.
Wait.
Ooh.
Hold on a second. Oh, there he is.
There he is?
There he is down in the corner,
Yep.
and there's a little arrow pointing at him. All right, I'm going to tap on
So
him.
if you tap on him,
Oh, he's moving the bar.
he's moving it,
He's
taking out, and he's going to drop it.
Yep, he just dropped it down
And
below.
if you hit it again, if you tap him again, he will take other,
Oh, there goes
portions of
the picture bar. You just threw that on the
and
ground.
he'll just keep doing that.
Okay,
And it will scroll down the page, and he will just keep doing
He's
that.
just tearing apart the page
He is.
as you go.
He is.
Oh wow. There he goes. There goes your Wikipedia entry. All right, and boink. Just a
And I like that he's just demolishing the Mandalorian universe, because that's what you used for the search term to get him up there.
There you go.
And that's what just keeps happening.
Take that, Gina Carano. What the hell? He just keeps going, and it's just
keeps
piling and piling and piling.
Yep.
Okay, I got to stop this.
But you
Yeah.
can't.
Take that, IMDb. Okay, moving on. So,
So yeah, that was a fun little thing that I read about. I was like, I'm gonna go check out Google right now,
Those are
and
always fun.
it was so much fun.
Those are-
They make it creative in a good way. There are some campaigns that are just like, really, we did this, but no, this is one that I think definitely won.
that's always the thing I always loved about Google was the whimsy, right?
Yes.
When we came to things like this and the experiments, and we've gotten so far away from that. Like, thankfully, the original, the Google.com, which is I think is bread and butter for them, and what made them, like, they still do that. There's still that kind of vibe to it. So, anyways, so I don't know. Do you remember any others? What's your favorite over the years that they've done? It's always so momentary, It's like, oh, cool, that happened, and you move on. But,
Yeah,
but
like
still, it was nice for the moment.
That's the thing. Like, I have the Finding Nemo, the Dory, like, ooh.
Oh, they did a door. Oh, yeah.
No, the refresh of 20 seconds, and I don't remember anything else. So I really can't speak to one that I like, but I do appreciate this one. And I like that they take different interactions. So it's not always the same thing happening with the page. It's different. And I think that this is a good integration with Grogu, given his force abilities.
So, Missy, you're familiar with Medium, right?
The TV show?
No, not the TV show. Not Patricia Arquette, no. No. So Medium is the thing. You know how our friend Janine Pickerel, she has her newsletter on like Substack, that you can subscribe to and stuff like that. Medium is a high-end blogging platform. Let's put it that way, if you're not familiar with that. And a lot of people, I know some people that I follow that are journalists on podcasts. They'll have a Medium page, and sometimes you have to pay for it to get it without ads and everything like that. Just a way to monetize for people that are in like more professional writers and high-end bloggers and things like that. So, and we've talked about, of course, we say we're starting a SorgatronMedia.social to help kind of step like our Patreons and our podcasts and our hosts onto Mastodon to try it out. And according to The Verge over here, Medium's getting into the game, and they're actually helping you, and they're actually asking you to pay $5 a month to join its Mastodon server. So, of course, like for us to do, when you're joining a Mastodon server, and as it's mentioning in this article, like you are now dependent on a volunteer that's paying for that server. Which can be kind of scary, but I mean, I don't know if it's more scary for that or somebody else. Either way, somebody's paying for the service you're on if you're on Twitter or Facebook or something else.
And
too.
that becomes a question: is Mastodon was supposed to be a way to kind of circumvent having somebody else control your content.
Right.
And now
you're dependent on somebody
you're
else
depending
that
on
now
somebody else
controls your
to,
content.
yeah.
And as we're experiencing, because I'm trying to figure out how all the hooks work, like I'm getting frustrated because I can't figure out how on twit.social or even my own sorgatron.social, how do I search for things on other servers? I'm trying to look for where are the professional wrestling conversations happening, and the search is like disabled for anything outside of my server. And I think I can turn it on, or I don't know. So it's that kind of thing. So like if you're on a server and somebody says they want to lock down professional wrestling because they don't think it's cool, you know, they have a problem with it, then like you're now beholden to that, or you can start your own server. So, but you do have that option of being able to be able to search your own, you know, and there's some more you can do with a community there. So in this case for Medium, like they say, hey, you know, rather than being beholden to a volunteer and crossing your fingers they're not going to shut this thing down, you know, or hard times and don't have money and they shut down the server with, you know, 100 people on it, you know, now they're homeless, right? And what do we always say to our clients? Have a home, have your own house, right? So start, you know, for your community. So for them, $5 a month or $50 a year. And then they're looking to add some more benefits to that. Of course, you're going to be on their server with, you know, I'm sure that's going to promote their own writers are going to be on there as well. So you are directly have them, you know, on server in your home local feed versus your federated feed, which would be everything. You know, things like that. So, you know, so again, kind of getting ahead of the Medium is a bigger platform that a lot of people online know about.
Well, I also think it's kind of that situation of, all right, I don't know how to build out my own server for this, so I'm going to rely on somebody. And I trust...
most people will not, yeah.
Exactly, and I trust Medium because they're a brand that I'm familiar with and I know, so I'm going to go ahead and join their server. It's only $5. I'm going to go ahead and join their server. Makes sense, I would think, for the layman under the circumstances. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out and how many other companies start to adapt a similar policy with things. And then I'm curious to see how that landscape is going to change over the next 6 months to a year when you get, you know, this to me sounds almost like their version of the Twitter Blue or the Facebook verified. You know, you pay to play, and now you have I'm on this server. I'm on that server.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's segmenting, but it's also it's weird. It's segmenting, but it's wide and it's open, but it's still segmenting. And like you can, you know, if you leave, let's say you don't like what we're doing at sorgatronmedia.social, and you go to mastodon.social, and you're talking with somebody anywhere. Right, you know, generally, let's not talk about like, you know, shut down servers and things. I think that's an extreme case in most cases. But let's say you're talking to Leo Laporte on twit.social. I left sorgatronmedia.social because I don't like what they're doing over there. You can still talk to Leo Laporte on twit.social. That's how it works. That's how the federated thing is interesting. And kind of lending towards that, this is John Gruber, who's an Apple blogger that I think uses a Medium. He says he's very uncomfortable with the fact that nearly all Mastodon servers are free to use volunteer efforts funded by voluntary donations. That's not sustainable. I suspect a lot of Mastodon servers that seem to be thriving today won't be around in 5 years taking all their posts with them. Twitter is free to use, and look how that's gone, is the context that they're giving for that. And that's true. If you're free, what's the product? And on Mastodon, if it's all volunteers, where's your sustainability and something like that? Medium's probably not going anywhere for a while. They've been around for a bit. You're paying for it, so at least you know that pays into it. You're paying for a certain thing, at least, you know, month to month. I think that makes a lot of sense. So...
Sorg, you froze.
What's that?
I said, Sorg, you froze.
Yes, my
IRL.
brain froze. I was catching up with the chat room. A partner he says, think about you pay for Medium and you get Mastodon for free. Yeah, there's that too. Oh, is this just linked in with your subscription over there?
But that's the thing, like.
But that's fine if that's just like, I mean, we're offering it. We're not doing wide because we don't have the finances to support 100 people come over to our Mastodon. I think I can support 100 people now. Maybe it's 20. I'll have to check. But anyways, but it is like let's add this as a benefit for our community to be able to get on together and represent together, into this wide world. Maybe they move on and go to a different server eventually or something like that. But in the meantime, like, we've all started this and figured this out together,
So here's an interesting question that I have. Mm-hmm. So if I'm going to be on their server for $5, mm-hmm. and like I'm looking at it from like a video subscription platform. Mm-hmm. So if I want to have Disney Plus, if I want to have, Paramount Plus, if I want to have all these different apps, I can subscribe to those certain things. Mm-hmm. So feasibly, could I be on 2 different servers through Mastodon and then be able to connect those?
I think you can do a little kind of link over kind of thing, and then you can like I'm over, like, my personal one's still on twit.social because I want to see how a bigger server operates, and then we have all of our other stuff. So I'll post via my accounts over on Sorgatron Media, like AwesomeCast at sorgatronmedia.social, and then I'm boosting and resharing over on my account on twit.social. So you can, so let's say I wanted to have a Sorgatron on sorgatronmedia.social, I can still share between them my own stuff. So I think that's how you would perpetrate being on both platforms.
It could be beneficial under the circumstances because then you could introduce other people to the audience. I guess my question would be, would it make sense to join different Mastodon servers under the circumstances?
It depends on what you're doing. And actually, if you segment things, like, I want to talk to tech people over here, I want to talk to wrestling people over here. I was listening to Office Hours today, and somebody was talking about, they're like, how do you handle all the videos you watch on YouTube? And one person was like, I have separate accounts for every subject matter I watch on YouTube. Which is like, so they're training the algorithm. Hey, I'm logged into my video production education account, and all I'm getting is video education instead of just a little bit of everything. And you've seen my recommendations. They're comic books, video production, professional wrestling, comedy,
I
something.
forget which account I'm logged into, and I watch certain things, and then you're just like, your algorithm gets thrown off.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Well, Netflix is the thing. I still have an episode of Supernatural that I definitely did not watch. So,
yeah, that was
me. And it's like, I'm not Netflix enough to be like I'll watch a series like 1 month and that's it.
Well, just be thankful that I'm not watching Gilmore Girls on your Netflix.
I mean, whatever. I was down with the Gilmore Girls. That's all right. Where are we at? All right. Well, I think it's that time to wrap anyways.
Really?
Yeah, it's that time. It's pumpkin time, and NXT has a big show tonight. So, and I got to edit this show before the next. So we have a guest tonight on the Wrestling Mayhem show. So, Missy, thank you so much for dropping in.
Well, I am glad to be here.
Thank you for coming up from the back office.
Well, technically, thank you for staying here because usually I go home.
Yes, there's that too. All right. Well, you don't really have a lot of social medias right now. So
well, I do, but none of them are mine.
Follow Sidekick Media Services on all social medias and
yes, Sidekick Media Services.
And of course, Missy is the social media and website builder extraordinaire here in the Sidekick Media, Sorgatron Media. So
yeah, like I said, I currently live under other people's domains and platforms.
Yeah, that's right. She's
so much so that I don't do much on my own because
she's a wizard behind the curtain.
I am.
There you go. I like that. Of course, at Sorgatron on the Twitter and everywhere else, social media, Sorgatron at twit.social. And of course, hop over to sorgatronmedia.social to see what's going on in the Sorgatron Media podcast world and with our co-hosts and our Patreons and everything too. Follow them from whatever server you are also on. So, Thank you for being a part of all the communities. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Oh, and then it's going to get us a takedown notice. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. You've been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.